and welcome to Play Today Online. This week's theme is the Olympics. We're entering into the second week of the Winter Olympics, and I thought it would be a great theme to take on this week. There's lots of crafts and obviously activities that you can do surrounding this theme. Now, a good way to kick off this theme is a discussion on what the Olympics is, and obviously it's, athletes that have trained for a long time coming together and competing in their sport and trying to achieve their personal best and in some cases win medals. One of the things that I think children find very interesting is the fact that there are a lot of different countries participating and that these athletes come from all over the world. And I believe this year there's 63 different countries participating, and each one of those countries has a different flag. And those flags would be obvious if you're watching the program, and you'll see the different competitors wearing different uniforms of different colors. They'll have a flag of their country next to their name, and when they medal and there's a medal ceremony, you'll see that it's their flag that is flown above them at that ceremony. And so introducing the idea of having the different countries compete is a fun way to kick off your day or kick off your week, because at this point you could invite the children to create their own flags that they'll be using throughout the week and throughout the day, and have their own little flag that they can fly around as they go through the different events or activities that you have planned. Before you do that though, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. It might be worth having the children bring in any flags or any mementos or something that they might have, a souvenir for example, something of their grandparents, or perhaps something of theirs from another country, and they can share that with the children so the children can start to see some of the different flags from the different countries. And you can also build a little bit of a discussion on the fact that flags are representative of the countries that they're associated with. So for example, my son really likes the Ukraine right now, so I'll use this as my example. The Ukrainian flag is blue and yellow, and the blue is representative of the large blue skies, whereas the yellow is representative of the vast fields of crops. And so that's why their flag is blue and yellow. And so you can use examples like that before introducing the activity of creating your own flag, because the idea would be that the kids can go off and use anything that you have available for them to create their flag, but then they're going to come back and they're going to share their creations with the group. What colors they chose, what shapes or animals or whatever it is that they used to create their flag, what does that represent for their country? And I think that would be a fun activity for them to start off the concept of your own Olympics. Once that's completed, obviously you'll want to have a number of different events or activities that the kids can participate in and compete against each other in. And there really is, no limit to, the creative license that you can take on, events for the Olympics. Obviously you're not going to be, doing any actual downhill skiing or luging, but you can have a toboggan and get the kids on it and race up and down the yard, and everyone can take turns, and that could be your luge event. If you have pylons, or different obstacles that you could be going around, maybe it's a slalom that you're doing where you're zigzagging across the yard. You could use the slide on the play structure to be an event. There's lots and lots of different things that you can think of that would make a fun activity for the kids, as long as you dress it up as an event. Now, that said, perhaps you can't get outside. There's a lot of different things you can do inside as well. One of the first videos I did with the mittens, I had the idea of doing a relay, where at one end of the room you had a bucket full of winter clothing, and the children would form two teams and run to the end, put on a hat or a scarf or mitts, whatever it is, and then run back, and it would be the next person's turn. You can invent all sorts of different games. Okay, so I'm not really going to go into anything specific like that. Mostly I'm going to be talking about different crafts today, because I think there's some neat things that that we can do with the theme. One of them being ice skating painting. All you need for this is an ice cube tray, some popsicle sticks, some powdered tempera paint, and some finger painting paper. And I'll show you in just a second what exactly that ends up looking like. So I have my finger paint paper here, and this is my powder tempera paint. So it needs to be the powder kind. I'm just going to put just a small amount of it out. And then here are my ice cubes. And again, I just put popsicle sticks in the ice cube tray when I was making these. Now, the key here is to let the ice cubes sit out for a little bit. Don't take them straight from the freezer and use them, because they won't be as effective. You want them to be in sort of a state of starting to melt. And this is when the kids can pretend that they're skating through the paint and making great little drawings just from the moisture of the melting ice cubes. It's just kind of a fun, cute little way. This would be kind of like a skating event, potentially, and then they can hang up all their paintings at the end. So it's just a fun, quick, easy, but effective craft. So the next craft I'm going to show you is how to help decorate in preparation for your Olympic activities. All the kids could have a hand in making some Olympic rings that can hang up in the area that you'll be having some of the activities. So the next craft involves making the Olympic rings, and what you'll need for that is these flimsy paper plates. You don't want any of the super thick ones. They're a little bit harder to work with. So what I'm doing is just cutting the middle out of them. And this is something that you would likely be doing in advance if you have younger toddlers that you'll be working with. So I have 5 of them here, and I'm going to be painting each of them a different color to correspond with the Olympic rings. The last thing I did was cut a slit in each of the circles and put them all together. So this is a cute little activity to make the Olympic rings in preparation for your Olympic day or Olympic week. You could do this craft 2 different ways. Here I have drawn a skate and cut it out on a harder type of paper. Harder as in stiffer, just because we are going to be lacing it. We don't want the ribbon to break through the paper. Now you could punch holes all the way around and lace all the way around the shape of a skate, but what I decided to do in this case was only punch my holes. Not sure if you could make them out here, but I only wanted to punch my holes in the part of the skate where you would normally find laces on a real skate. And so that's where we would begin our lacing. Now you might just tie this end off and have that secure, and then start with the lacing of the skate. I can paint this, put stickers on it, or decorate it any way I like. So this is one way to make a medal, is starting with a round, already cut to shape piece of cardboard and some tin foil. I'm just going to wrap the tin foil around the circle. You could also use the top of a frozen juice can, provided that you don't use the kind that you take the lid off with the can opener. They're the ones that have the pull tops. That way you don't have to worry about any sharp edges. I'm going to punch a hole where the ribbon is going to go. You would not be able to do that if you were using the juice lid. You would have to use or have an adult use hot glue gun to glue the ribbon to the medal. But there, easy way to make a medal. You can get gold foil. It is hard to find, but you could probably even get gold craft paper from a place like Michael's. You can use glitter glue. There's all different ways to do it, and you can even write something on here if you wanted to. If there is a certain event that this medal was being given for, maybe it was for your luge. There you go, and then that medal would go to whoever participated in the luge event. So thank you once again for joining us. This week I don't have any specific books to recommend, but I think that at least what we've done in our household recently is we've gone out and purchased a book of the different countries of the world, an atlas with all the different flags and information on all the different countries, because we've started to have some discussions about the different countries that we've seen participate in the Olympics. I would recommend that, taking this opportunity to start to talk about all the different countries and regions of the world. Thank you again for joining us, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and check out our website at www.playtodayonline.blogspot.ca. See you next time.